It's Clip!
Oh my goodness, how exciting. How you guys doing tonight? What's up? So many comedians there that ignored that question because they hear it so often. Comedians, how are you guys doing tonight? So proud, so much energy. Probably because we have a new sponsor, everybody.
That's right.
That's right. We'd like to officially re-announce that our newest sponsor is Diet Squirt. Since 1938, the caffeine-free thirst quencher. So Diet Squirt, we appreciate you guys. Less than 1% juice, no calories. It's true. Slightly less than 1% juice.
Yeah.
No calories and low sodium. Squirt, a refreshing beverage since 1938. Hell yeah. Some shuffling going around. Who's having a wonderful Monday so far, huh? I'll tell you. I am. It's a great Monday for me. I had a crazy job offer happen that the 12-year-old me would love for me to take. I can't talk about it just yet, but that's going to be something in future episodes that I'm going to talk about, is the job opportunity that I'm hinting at today.
All right, now, you have already told me about this.
And it's crazy.
All right, because we can't maybe talk about... No? No, all right.
We're going to save it. It's going to be great.
I didn't even know KinderCare was doing business, though.
Yes, great job offer from KinderCare, the good makers of KinderCare. Goes delicious with a Diet Sprite.
Yeah. Squirt at a KinderCare.
Oh, yes, Diet Squirt. We do not like Sprite. Fuck. We probably just lost them.
You just lost Squirt. We've had him for 2 episodes.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so we just wanted to let you know,
Well, I tell you what you can't do with Sprite. You can't mix it with tequila and make a margarita instantly.
Oh, you told me this last week, and I almost threw up in my mouth. A margarita made of squirt and tequila.
Yeah.
Have you really had that before?
Oh, I'm addicted.
Who would drink that? By round of applause. There you go, Brian. There you go. Just to let you know what kind of life you're living.
No, I mean, like, really, it's if you mix drinks a lot, like myself, you get sick of something a lot. Like, I got sick of Jack and Coke. I went to 7 and 7s for a while. I went to turkey and ginger. And then I got into tequila. And there's not really much you can do with tequila except, maybe make a margarita out of it or drink a press out of it. So my Mexican friends told me to...
Your Mexican friends did not tell you to...
Yes, they did. It's a poor person margarita is what they said. It does the job. And you mix it with tequila. It tastes great. We could actually do it today if you wanted to. We could have Josh get us some Patron.
Okay.
No? Okay.
But I do love, without tequila, a delicious Diet Squirt. Anyway, it's a crazy Monday here, guys. You guys know what we do. We always have a bunch of comedians come on, and I do a minute, and some of the future comedians of the world and the universe, some of our favorite rising comics. Sometimes it's a brand new person. You never know what's going to happen. And I always have 2 amazing guests that come on and talk with the newer comedians, and it's always fun. But as well, we always have every week a brand new head of security to keep us safe here on the stage. This is this guy's second job keeping us safe. Put your hands together for Autistic Thunder, Josh Meyerowitz, a.k.a. the Autistic Patriot.
I'm sorry.
Can you imagine if, like, the Iron Patriot really did do that? He just, like, killed all his enemies and then apologized.
It is true. The Autistic Patriot gives more apologies than any other superhero. You're really filling that suit out, huh? I think you're the first one to not have a lot of extra slack. That's fun.
I just started my diet.
What diet is that? You sound really excited.
It's not fair. Not fair. Not fun to not eat as much as I used to. But it's for my health.
Do you hear your shoes squeaking when you do that? You.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, don't do that anymore. It's very annoying. Back to you, Diet Man. The sound of shoes squeaking.
Are you really on a diet?
Yeah.
Like Weight Watchers?
No. I just, the best I can do, one step at a time, eat less, and,
This sounds like a guy that has no diet plan whatsoever. Just one step at a time. I leave a couple bites of the In-N-Out burger that I eat daily.
Do you eat bad or do you just eat a lot?
I eat a lot.
Okay.
But not bad. I actually do pretty damn good. I just do too much. I eat that as good as I do bad. And that's
What did you
rare.
eat today? Tell the truth, by the way. It's going to be much funnier.
I'm autistic. I can't lie.
Oh, yes. I almost forgot.
I woke up, had a banana and an apple, and then for lunch I had a Caesar salad from, Wolfgang Puck, what is it, Gelson's? Yeah. And then that's it.
Really?
Yeah, that's all I've had today, and just drink lots of water.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it seems like maybe you are sticking to your diet.
I'm trying.
Now I sort of feel bad for you.
Much love, Tony.
Hey,
Okay.
next time you have a salad like that, though, put the dressing on the side and dip your fork into it instead of pouring it on top of your salad. You'd save about half the calories.
I learned something new.
Heck yeah. Do you usually toss your salad?
I try very hard to toss my own salads.
There's a little picture in your minds for all of you.
Have you ever tried to suck your own dick?
No. Oh, wait, when I was younger, because I watched the movie Clerks, I thought it'd be funny if I tried, but no.
Probably not even close, huh?
No, especially with my stomach, no. And small cock.
Were you
Could you at least nibble on your bush?
No. Even as a mature adult, I don't have, a lot of pube.
a lot of pube?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, since you said that in the singular, I'm guessing you have about one.
Just one thick pube.
To this very day, I just don't have very many pube.
Exactly. 30 years old I'm turning.
You're 30?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Put your hands together for the biggest 11-year-old I know, turning 30. I love it. And you must be excited, Josh, because I know for a fact that you're a pro wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking to the man under the mask for a second here. So what do you think about Roddy Piper being here? Can you give maybe if there's somebody in the crowd who doesn't know, maybe you could give a little short background on the man, the myth that is going to be on this
I
show
don't
today.
know as much about him as...
All right, that's not a good start. Just go with the stuff that you do know, Josh.
Had memorable feuds not just against Hogan, but Bruno Sammartino, and famous for his promo against Jimmy Fasuka, where he painted half his face black and hit him with a coconut.
That's very good. That's almost correct.
One of the greatest promos.
Very good. Definitely the best promos. He was the first comedian to improvise his own segment on wrestling. It was called Piper's Pit, and he always improvised it. And these pro wrestlers weren't always, had a lot of comedic background and stuff, so he'd really have to improvise. I mean, that's digging deep. He's also a 36-time champion, the star of the movie They Live, and many other great movies. And we're very excited to have him here in a bit. Awesome. And thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
And that's right. And put your hands together for our producer, Josh Martin, everybody, hustling around, making it all possible. He's on Twitter at Josh Martin Comic. And Josh Meyerowitz, the Autistic Patriot, is on Twitter at Autistic Thunder. You really own your autism, which I love.
Yeah, it's basically all I got and keeps me who I am.
We had a really good show Friday at the Ice House with Joe Rogan and Dom Herrera, and it was just exciting to have the show on the road. Are you going to be at Comic-Con 2014 this year?
I wish. I would never do it alone, especially since I don't try to be there.
Well, we will be there.
Sweet.
July 23rd and 24th, we're going to be there doing shows. So any of the comics listening to this at home, sign up. You'll be able to go to the American Comedy Co. on July 23rd, an hour before the show, and get on stage, hopefully. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So try to make it down there, Josh.
I'll try. I can't promise anything. Disability is a bitch. I mean the money from disability. I don't.
Oh, there you go. You might want to say that.
Yeah.
One of those is a lot more sad than the other.
Yeah.
But you have some perks that non-disabled people, I mean, you have that taxi that gets you.
Special needs taxi. Yeah.
They get a hell of a deal. I mean, that special Uber is like...
Putting a mustache on it would actually make it look better.
You'll have to try that one out when you get 60 seconds one Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
Much love.
Much love indeed. If you don't know, that is Josh Meyerowitz's catchphrase, much love, because he can't help but to say it. It's his way of closing up everything by giving extra love. Sometimes we'd all be a lot better people if we had autism. Put your hands together for Josh Meyerowitz joining us. So fun, so exciting. Josh, are you here? We got 2 thumbs up?
No, he's still smoking that cigarette.
Okay, you really blew that cover. Very good. Good job, Josh.
We could talk real quick. You know what I learned about autistic people, Josh, is that the Army and stuff, they love autistic people, and they try to get as many autistic people in the Army as possible because they kick ass at certain jobs.
That'd be sad for me because I'm the dumbest autistic person you've ever met.
There you go. Some lady knows one dumbass autistic person.
What I mean by that is, I'm smart. I'm not dumb, I'm smart, but I'm not as smart as other autistic people.
But do you obsess about stuff?
Yeah.
What about radar blips over the ocean?
No, it's always like, I know nothing about math or science or physics, but it loves me is the Japanese comic books.
You know, Josh, you're actually, now that I think about it, not even our first autistic patriot. You are, however, our first diagnosed autistic patriot.
Good point.
So it's an exciting title to have. Now, let's talk more about this diet for just a second, since we have a half a minute to talk about it. Banana, an apple, and a salad is what you ate today.
I know, I should have 3 meals a day.
Are you really hungry right now?
No, actually. I
Wow.
drink a lot of water. Fills me up.
Heck yeah, it does. I can tell.
Put some meat in that water, though. You need some protein in that water.
Yeah, I figured that with the chicken, that's good protein for the day. White meat, of course, no. It would,
So not enough protein for you. You're a big guy. You need more protein than that.
yeah, I'm lucky my metabolism is any good. And it is, it just, I suck at dieting, and this is the best I can do for now.
Well, we love it. We're glad to have you. One more time for the Patriot of the Day, Josh Meyerowitz, the Autistic Patriot. Let's move on with the show, guys. You ready for our guests or what? Come on, guys. It's fucking Monday night, Kill Tony 57, and we're about to make magic happen. Are you ready for a crazy show? Put your hands together for tonight's guest, the hilarious Annie Lederman, and the super funny and awesome legend and man himself, Roddy Piper!
Tell you what, we've gone too far, too far!
Annie Lederman is here. Roddy Piper is here. You guys are meeting each other for the first time, I do believe. 2 of my favorite people. Annie, one of the fast-rising comedians of the world, all over E! And Comedy Central and so many fun things. And
MTV. I mean,
Yes.
it just goes on forever, guys. Haven't you heard of me? Oh, you haven't? Cool. Killing it.
And from a lot of my favorite things, including most recently Legends House on the WWE Network, Roddy Piper is joining us.
Thank you.
Very
Proud
exciting.
to be here.
Good
Proud to
friend
be
of
here.
mine, and
Good
glad to
stuff.
have you back. We had you pop in a couple episodes ago. You were nice enough to grace us with your presence, and then I'm so lucky to have you on as a guest tonight.
And I
so
get
thanks
to
for
sit
doing this.
next to this pretty lady.
Yes.
Oh, no one's
Yeah.
ever called me a lady. Thank you.
She's been on MTV.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's huge.
So it's going to be a fun perspective switch. I figured the 2 of you will give 2 different perspectives for sure. Annie from, one of the toughest chicks I know to one of the toughest guys I know, Roddy Piper.
Are we going to end up wrestling?
Yes, that's what I didn't tell you. We're going every
Only
Monday.
if you really wanna.
My boyfriend just killed himself in the back.
A lot of
Just
people
trying
don't
to be
know
nice.
this, but Roddy Piper is also a paid regular here at the Comedy Store. Been doing stand-up for a few years, and who would have thought that a guy that could make stadiums and arenas of people laugh for decades could possibly pull off stand-up comedy in a room with 20 people. But it's always fun. Some of the best stories.
Being sweet. You're being sweet. My name doesn't belong here. They just did it out of kindness. Man. These guys are the professionals. Yeah.
I love that it takes an autistic guy to take dieting advice from Red Band. The dipping the fork in. Fuck you, Red Band.
Hey, that's true, man. I'm a Weight Watcher. I lost 75 pounds on Weight Watchers once in 3 months.
I know. What year was that?
Year I had AIDS. It was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too mean? You assholes in the belly room of the fucking Comedy Store?
Now I don't know if you caught. I don't think you caught the beginning of the very beginning of the show, Piper. So let me update you. Our Patriot tonight. We always have a new head of security. Our Patriot tonight is Josh Meyerowitz. He is autistic. He's an amazing stand-up comedian where he talks about his autism so he can handle it. But he just announced today that he's on a new diet, and all he ate today was an apple and a banana and a Caesar salad. So what
What kind of diet is that?
It's the water diet. He drinks lots of water.
It's a diet that seems like it'll last for about another 2 hours.
It's called, I used to do it in middle school. It's called anorexia.
But Piper, I'd imagine from your years having to be in front of a camera and be in tip-top shape, you might have some kind of advice to give the.
You trying to lose weight? Yeah. Stop eating. It's like, how does that go? Like, how many times do you eat a day? 3, eh?
Yeah.
How many times do you go to the bathroom? Once, right? Reverse them.
Just eat Chipotle once and shit the rest of the day.
No, like
Raw chicken. That's all you need.
gallon of water a day. You know, chicken, no salt, no, yeah.
Raw chicken.
Chicken, no salt,
Yeah.
no nothing on it. Pasta, nothing on it.
Chicken
You know,
sushi.
then you got to hit the gym.
The salt's really the tricky part because that keeps the water trapped.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roddy.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Good for you. There's not a lot of people that have the courage to not only get it out, but to do it day to day. And, you know, you should give yourself a pat on the back because it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Much love.
Well, he's actually in such bad shape he can't pat himself on the back. That's what we're trying to get to. Is you can reach there. Good job, Josh. Wow.
I like that his microphone's just at his dick or his
Yeah.
gut. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's a little tradition that we have here where we keep the speaker box by the groin.
It's overlooked.
You're
Well-
funny, Josh.
Josh, do you have any questions for our guests?
Absolutely, Amy. I hear you used to be on Chelsea lately a lot. How do you feel about Chelsea moving to Netflix?
I don't care. I'm not going to be on it. Who gives a shit? No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. I think that's cool. It could be like interesting to change Netflix up a little bit. She seemed obviously really bored with her show before, and
Does that make it uncensored? Is she allowed to do it?
I think
Is
it will
she-
be uncensored.
so.
I feel like she was so close to being uncensored on E, but I think when you get like caught in a show and you're like, all right, I come out, I do my monologue, then I do this, then I have the panelists, then I go like that. That gets boring. So sometimes you have to completely jump ship.
Right.
But so it probably will be pretty cool. I know she didn't want to do the late night, or I'd heard that she didn't want to do the late night because it would be censored and.
That would be going the opposite way. It's like
Right.
watching Fallon now. You know, he used to have a really good show when 'cause it was late. It was a little bit more loose than the other
Mm-hmm.
shows, but now he's actually had to go backwards, doing more Leno humor. You could actually see the censorship in his
Yeah,
comedy.
it's just like old people watching. Yeah.
How about for Piper? You have a question for Piper?
Mr. Piper.
Yes.
Though I am a wrestling fan, one of my all-time favorite movies, which I give 5 out of 5 Autistic Thunderbolts, is They Live. Love that movie.
Thank you.
What
Yes,
is John,
thank you. very much.
okay.
Thank you.
What is John Carpenter like?
John Carpenter? He's a little eccentric, you know. He's a very frail guy. And, yeah, and you have to be sensitive when you talk with him. But it makes him a good director because he gets inside you and helps to pull it out. But as far as the action was concerned, he left the action to me. Yeah.
On that point, may I also ask, as a big character actor fan, what is Keith David like?
Oh, he's a great guy. He's a 220-pound dancer that hits like Mike Tyson, doesn't even know it. Like to kill me. Killed by a dancer.
I saw something really
Are
cool
we human
today.
or are we dancers?
What's that?
Are we humans or are we dancers?
What's that from?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Coldplay?
I saw.
Are you just yelled out so confidently the wrong answer. That's almost as annoying as squeaky shoes. Just kidding. Nothing's more annoying than you. Just kidding.
Roddy, Amy, thank you for answering my questions.
There you go.
Was it true
the
with
best,
the
Josh.
big fight scene there that it was supposed to be like a short scene, you against Keith David, and then you guys just were fighting it out, so they just decided to record the whole thing, and it ended up being like almost like a 6-minute fight? And that,
No, I think it's 12 minutes. It's a long. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's the longest fight in cinema history. But John Carpenter wanted the fight that was longest before that was John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara in The Quiet Man, and Carpenter wanted a longer fight, but between two friends, that followed the arc of the script. So it was a little more difficult, but it paid off in the end.
and those were real punches thrown, right?
You know. Oh, it was fine. Keith, you throw camera punches, and as long as you cross the line, you can't tell. But on the way back, he would catch my eye with his thumb, and finally, I just said, "Hey, from neck down, just hit me. Be a lot easier." And he didn't have a problem with that. Got right into that and beat the shit out of me for a couple days, and there we are in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow.
Great, congratulations.
So cool. Longest fight scene. That's amazing.
Aw, you're very sweet. Very sweet.
I saw something cool today. I stumbled across on the internet. Was there's a scene in Alien where Sigourney Weaver, I guess after she obtained special powers, or at some point in the movie, either way, there's a part where she's walking away from a basketball hoop with a basketball in her hand, and she throws the basketball over her shoulder, and she makes the shot showing how advanced she is or whatever. But I watched the clip today of her doing that for the first time and actually doing it, and they couldn't even, all the serious characters in the role broke, you know what I mean? And just the moment that it went straight in. I mean, it's an amazing clip because you could tell she's completely dialed into her character as a super professional actress, and she's so dialed in that without thinking, and she's saying in the interview that she doesn't know how she did it, whatever, bobbity bob. She was so dialed in that she literally did what the character was supposed to do and made that no-look back shot. So it's worth looking up sometime.
By the way, the movie is Alien Resurrection, the fourth one.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, Josh. That's why an autistic sidekick is good to have around.
And here's a fun fact about that fight that you did. At South Park actually had an famous episode called Cripple Fight, and they did it shot by shot of that fight. And that's why if you ever watch that
you ever seen
episode,
that
you're like,
fight?
why is this fight so long?
Dialogue, too.
Yeah, the dialogue also.
You know what? I wouldn't watch it. For 10 years, I wouldn't watch it because, they're cripple kids, and they're...
But it's
I just
construction
felt so
paper.
bad, but then one time in an autograph line, this little boy, he's beautiful, but he's crippled, and he was laughing about it.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought, okay, then, I'll giggle too.
Those
That's
guys-
how I say the N-word, too.
Yeah.
I need, one black person to be laughing at seeing a video of me saying
just
this
thought
for me
it
to
would
say it
hurt.
again.
Those South Park guys have a real knack for making people laugh at their own problems. A lot of people don't know, but the Book of Mormon, those people love it more than anything. Mormons are way into the Book of Mormon while they're making fun of it. They have ads in their pamphlet and all this stuff, and they're doing a run of shows in Salt Lake City, which are already sold out because Mormons dig it the most, and it's the biggest joke, but
yeah.
they make fun of everything. That's why they can get away with it.
I think it takes a whole rounded person to be able to have some self-deprecation.
Yeah.
You can't be pointing. Every time you point your finger at somebody, you're pointing 3 back at yourself.
Yeah. Well, the Mormons are definitely well-rounded.
The heavier ones, anyway.
Well, I'm very excited about this. Annie, you've been doing stand-up a long time from New York, and Piper, you've been all over the world. So let's have some fun, give some perspective to some people just starting out. For those of you just joining us for the first time, we're comedians in the room. You know that 60 seconds is up when you hear the meow of a kitty. So wrap up whatever you're talking about then, or else you're going to bring out the angry West Hollywood bear. Yeah, you don't want to. All right.
I like how that sound effect's also 60 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just is out of control. But there you go. So don't run the light if for no other reason than for the sake of the podcast listeners who complain weekly about that.
Stop with the bear sound.
Every time somebody runs their time, I feel like my ears are going to fall off. I'm just trying to work out at the gym, listen to your show, but you make it real hard when you bring out the bear, all right? I read your tweets, guys.
Start yelling at the people that go over a minute. How about that?
That's right. That's the lesson, is do your time and get out. You guys ready for Kill Tony 57? Here we go with Andy Lederman and Roddy Piper and the Autistic Patriot. Your first comedian doing 60 seconds today is Gil Garibaldo.
Get up here, Gil.
Oh man, went to had a parent-teacher conference recently, and got a pretty great compliment from the teacher. She's like, your kid, he speaks at a very high level, and I could tell that's all you. I was like, wow, that's great. Respect the person in the community, give me that type of compliment. Single father, you don't really hear that kind of stuff, And then she told me like, but I did overhear a pretty mature conversation he had. And I was like, mature? What, talking about politics or something? What's going on? And she's like, well, he said he'd fuck the shit out of the lunch lady. I was pretty embarrassed because I've seen that lunch lady and she is gross as shit. Gross as shit. Try to help him out with his homework and stuff, but I'm like trying to be pretty helpful, and I'm like, get over here, let me check out that homework. It's like, oof. Yeah, I don't know, it's fractions? Yeah, man, take the F.
Sometimes that bear comes out very quickly. All right. There you go.
That was 45 seconds to lead up to your first joke, and I thought it worked. I thought it paid off. I thought it was funny, but I don't know. You think that's too long?
Did you say you're teaching at the place?
No, it's a parent-teacher conference.
And you have a son.
Yeah.
How old's your son?
12.
Oh wow! So what was the what I would want to know as an audience member is like, what was the context of the conversation when he said that he fucked the shit out of the? Did he say he would fuck the shit out of the lunch lady, or that he did?
He was bragging to his friends about it, but jokingly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That's hilarious.
So was the setup in the beginning where the teacher said that you can tell that his voice is coming from you or his language is coming from you? Was that to set up that when he said he fucked the lunch lady, you were like, that? I wouldn't say that because she's ugly. Was that?
Yeah, because she's just not the type of female that he should be.
She's ugly.
Going for?
She looks like shit. She has a beard. We
she's
get
a
it.
lunch lady.
We know the lunch ladies, yeah. But like, I think like the whole beginning the setup doesn't. You could just say at the parent-teacher conference and get right into it.
Right.
Yeah.
My 12-year-old. I went to a parent-teacher conference for my 12-year-old son.
Yeah.
And now, did he tell you that, or did the teacher tell you that he said that? The teacher
said
told
it
you.
in front of him, and he just had this like kind of like.
So, one thing with that is I think it also might be more fun to go on the adventure a little bit more with you. Like maybe at first you're proud of him or not. Both ways are funny if you tell us what you're feeling when you first found out and then when you remembered. It gives you a chance for 2 laughs there at some point. Because then once you realize that, and also gross as shit is funny, but I think that could be one step funnier too, just something like uglier than your average lunch lady, or
you could say she looks like you, and then you could be like, or like she has a beard like you,
Right.
like, is my son trying to fuck me?
right.
I go for incest, guys.
And what the audience
And I've been on
can see-
MTV.
Yeah, if you said I mean,
Or the
and
lunch
and
lady
it's
to do.
upsetting because the lunch lady looks like this, to
Or
you, or anyway, but to get it back to you.
But I think it's important in the very beginning you need like a punch in the very beginning,
Yeah.
so that people want to go on the journey with you, rather than.
Yeah, because after 30
A long
seconds, it's
explanation.
almost like, wait, what am I listening to here? I'm trying to, like, I don't know, pay attention, but then I'm just talking about nonsense. And I was just kind of waiting for the joke a little bit too long. I
So
thought.
too much setup.
Way
Too much setup, but the joke is good, and you could probably get to it really fast, like right away. I go in, and she said that. I mean, it could be a one-liner. Almost.
Now, Piper, you've watched many stars start, and you have a good eye for everything. You know show business probably better than anyone that I know. So let me ask you, what do you think of this young Iron Sheik we're dealing with up here right now?
Well, first of all, I think that first thing that should come out is that you're a single dad. That's a huge piece of information. And when you first came up, you were timid, and if you're a single dad, you should be really proud of that. And you can get that out in one, boom. And then if he had something for the lunch lady, and the lunch lady wasn't that good looking, and he wanted to do her anyway, you wanted to do her even though she wasn't good looking? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no.
He didn't want to do her because she wasn't good looking enough.
Yeah.
Well, you should be proud of him.
He's an equal opportunist.
Yeah, and his son's got good choice.
Oh, fucking I'll go. Good kid.
So, yeah.
You raised him well.
Yeah.
I just like her personality, Dad.
He's not biased against
She's so
ugly
sweet. She gives
women.
me extra creamed corn.
Right at the top. Right at the top, I would have let him know I'm a single dad. My son, boom. And then it would have been a little clearer.
Because I was thinking, too, that maybe your joke was going to be that you don't have a kid, that you were, like, at this teacher conference, and then you were like, oh, that's I don't even... like, you were just, like, the creepy guy. I don't know. You just give off that vibe to me. I don't know, that you'd have a boner at, like, a kindergarten classroom. I don't really think that, but... It's a podcast. You try things out, and they don't
You
work.
did good.
Thanks.
You did
Fuck
good.
yeah.
Who said that sound? Die. No, I'm just kidding. Someone shoot him.
Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you.
How long have you been single?
About 11 years.
Wow.
So it was the kid's fault.
Just his mom decided to do other things, and I was just like, well, I'm raising those with me.
How long
Were
have
the
you
other
been-
things your friends?
Yeah. What's their names?
Maybe.
How long have you been doing stand-up?
About 4.5.
Where are you from?
L.A. from here.
Nice. What part?
Originally South Central, now I'm in Baldwin Park, so that's East San Gabriel Valley.
Ooh, interesting. South Central. How long did you live there for?
About 9 years.
The first 9?
First 9, yeah.
Heck yeah. What are your tattoos of?
Well, let's see. I tell people that's my face because I don't want to explain who the dude is from Big Lebowski. But the dude from Big Lebowski.
Were you sober when you got that?
Yeah, all of them.
Wow.
And then that's just a chick with a American flag bandana over her face, graffiti stencil. Because I like chicks, love America, love graffiti. So
I think about it, and I like when they shut the fuck up. So I wrap their mouth shut
with the American flag.
with an American
So
flag.
that's just a random chick.
Yeah, it's from
Did you get that after you lost your wife?
never married, no.
Ah,
Just,
gotcha.
Yeah, just a 19-year-old kid with a kid,
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
That's outstanding.
So, and then just the other stuff. That's just a fox right there. Long story on that one. I'm not too long.
You're sticking with the sober through all of them thing, though. Huh?
Yeah, totally sober through all of that. So,
I like your style, Gil. Thanks for coming on. Come
you
back
go.
soon.
Thanks,
Gil
Rob.
Garibaldo. He's on Twitter at Gil Garibaldon't. That's GILGARIBALDONT. Gil Garibaldo wasn't available on Twitter? Wow. That's messed up.
Wasn't available. Damn.
Who would have thought? Now, I always ask each guest that comes on for the first time what if they ever did anything when they were first starting stand-up on stage that they can't believe that they ever talked about or said. Annie, you want to go first?
One of my first jokes was like, It was like, one was the best sex I ever had was with a homeless guy. He really fucked me like I was going to make him a sandwich. Which was like,
That's a
he
great
looked
joke.
homeless. He wasn't homeless.
That's not
But he
embarrassing
looked
at all.
homeless. And then
Then I
Years
worked at the
later, I
tuna
moved to
sandwich
LA
place.
and I was living in my car. So what a fucking hypocrite.
And he had
Fucking
tuna
dudes for
sandwiches at that
sandwiches.
time.
Now, Piper, you're more of a storyteller on stage, and your stories are all amazing. So I wouldn't consider anything embarrassing. So I'm going to ask you a little bit of a spin on that question, which is there anything which I'm sure there's something, but if you could just maybe share one thing that happened in the ring or when you were a rising wrestler that you ever did that was crazy and or embarrassing that you can't believe you did.
And this
that
is the
young.
wrestling ring, not the movie The Ring.
Gotcha. I wrestled a bear, 650-pound bear that took my pants off, my trunks off, and left me naked and knocked out. I don't know. How's
Wow,
that
what's
for a
that
start?
situation?
Holy
How does
shit.
that go?
Was that after your joke went past 60 seconds?
No, that was 20, baby. I have done many. I painted myself half black one time.
Oh
what
yeah,
you said last time.
Yeah, we remember. You told us that
yeah.
story last time. I had to go home and watch it one more time just to.
Oh, I'm glad you
It's
did
so
that.
funny.
Yeah. Well, a lot of
Was that mulatto
lot of
face?
stuff. My job was to really piss you off.
Yeah.
And, I was really good at it.
That's such a sensitive. You're like such a nice guy.
Oh,
And then doing that.
get
I
to
mean, the
know me.
crippled kid thing. Did you guys not tear up when he said that?
It was amazing.
Called Bruno Sammartino Italian slurs in the ring.
Bruno is a good man. I called Bruno a wop in Boston Garden. I said I was driving here, Bruno, and tire went flat, and all the way here it went wop, wop, wop.
I think I remember
And his
that.
hair, his comb over stood up, and his eyes, and it's a true story. And then it was a hard fight that night. And 20 years later, my son Colt, and Mr. Sammartino was a great man. And I bring Colt, and I said, Colt, this is Mr. Sammartino. First thing he says is, your dad called me a wop. 20 fucking years later, Bruno. But, stuff like that.
I love it. We're gonna roll on to our next comedian, and it will be Brad Sachs. Everybody.
Thank you, guys. I just lost my job. I was a waiter. I got fired because I lost it with an old lady, like a 85-year-old lady. Because sometimes old people, I love them, but this lady ordered the simplest thing you could order, water, and she turned it into a meal, and I just lost it. She was like, I want a glass of water with no ice, but I want the ice on the side. And I want lemon and a straw and extra lemon on the side and Splenda on the side. And if you have that raw sugar, I want it on the side. And I scratch my head. I'm like, bitch, that's a lemonade. Okay. No. The only reason I work there, to get laid, to have sex. Best place to ever work is a restaurant. And the place I worked at for 13 years, they told me on day one, it was amazing. They give me the application. It was like, question 1, you ever work at a restaurant before? Question 2, are you open to employee gangbangs after work? I'm like, I will film for you. Thank you, right here. The rest of you, nothing on there. That's cool. That's fine.
There you go,
Thank
Brad
you.
Sachs.
Thank you, guys. That was
Brad Sachs. Firing off some bullets.
I think he met my mom.
It was someone like your mother, yes. Grandma.
Okay.
Maybe you should perform to autistic people.
It's a good
It's
idea.
a circuit.
That shit could work. I'll try anything at this point.
Were you really a waiter?
Yes.
Where
I
at?
believe it.
A place called Stan. You believe it? You fucking. Okay.
Who wasn't a waiter?
A place called Stanley's in Sherman Oaks.
What kind of restaurant is it?
I would say it's like casual, upscale, every kind of, like, really big with salads and pizza, pasta, chicken, fish, steak. They got everything. Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's a good place.
The lemonade bit was funny that it made sense and it's pretty cute.
Yeah.
But I think the setup, how you did it with the old lady, kind of made me go, "What is he doing?"
Yeah.
You know, or I don't know. Maybe if you just said she ordered enough stuff to make lemonade, or just kind of
It's
like.
just got to be quicker.
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
You don't need
Too long.
all of that info.
If you started with the act out, like I just got fired because this woman came in, do the act out and
Right
then
away.
go, bitch, that's lemonade, and then rant a little bit more. I think too. Like if you really went off on her, it's funny that you yelled at an old lady.
Yeah.
Like she
Right?
ordered
Did
ice-
anyone else get wet? I loved
She,
it.
like she ordered ice water and 7 things for the ice water. She
Right,
pretty much
that's-
ordered lemonade, and
Yeah.
then maybe go like she ordered like blah 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 blah. Whatever. I don't know.
And then
Yeah.
like also that it's like there's no chart. I mean, what are you going to charge her for the lemon?
Right.
You know, like
Right.
what's a 15%? What do old people tip? 15%
No.
or nothing?
Oh,
No.
on the
10,
dot.
What's
5.
a 20% tip of zero? You know, I mean that's so unfunny. I want to kill myself. I'm sorry.
So
I just made your joke worse.
they fired you?
Well, it wasn't. It was actually kale. Like it was a really busy night, and this this one lady kept saying, "Is there kale in my salad?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's kale." And she was like, "Well, you take it back and you have them put kale because I don't think this is kale." And like the third time, I'm like running around sweating, and she's like, "Is this kale?" I'm like, "It's fucking kale." And then the whole table looked up. I'm like, "I'm sorry." And then they went and told, and they're like, and his jokes, by the way, were terrible, because I was trying to make up for it a little.
Oh.
One,
Should've
that's
just-
funnier. The truth
Yeah.
is funnier.
Yeah.
And two, we know that table wasn't autistic because they
Right?
didn't like
They
your
were not
jokes.
autistic. They were normal people. They were
That's,
regular.
You,
should've-
know if you're on the spectrum.
You should have told her to. You should have told her to kale herself.
Okay. Kill yourself.
Wow.
Kill yourself.
Look at you,
I
shooting
saw
a little
I saw a
three-pointer
joke
over
writer.
there.
My joke writer
Shooting
right
from
there.
long range. I don't normally see that. Normally I'm that guy, but it's fun to see a little,
Whoa! I'd like to see Tony
went for it.
in this position.
I
Like,
love
woo!
I love punnery and
Call him the Punisher.
all right, Josh, let's settle down. All right.
You agree that was way funnier, the true story, right?
Oh, absolutely. No,
The
that's
real
why
truth.
that's why I
Always
try to
tell the
ask
truth.
these questions to
All right.
dig a little bit
Yeah.
deeper. I mean, there was nothing funny about what the restaurant was like, but then we got into that part, and that's interesting. So, what was your reaction when you found out? Like, were you more mad when you found out that she said your jokes weren't funny, or
That was I mean, I was upset to obviously lose the job, but then the nail on the coffin.
so the
was,
manager
he
had
kept
to
telling us
report to
these
you?
jokes.
The manager.
Yeah, the manager
The
told. me.
manager was like, "Man, she told me she didn't like your jokes."
Yeah,
either."
they were like, they said you were telling all these corny jokes. Like, dude, what are you
Oh,
doing?
were you
What
really
were your
trying?
corny
Yes,
jokes?
yes,
They
yes.
were just
God, I
like-
hate people that
Bing,
do
bing,
that.
bing, bing,
I don't know. I don't
bing, bing.
remember.
We
They
just
were
stumbled
just-
across
They
gold,
were
everybody.
probably just little improvs.
What's funnier to listen to at the #1 comedy club in the world than some guy's actual restaurant jokes? Picture yourself at the restaurant table. Here we are, Brad Sachs.
No, they were probably
You'll be
just-
our waiter tonight.
Come on,
Come
give
on,
us one.
tell us the fuck.
No,
don't
no, they
get
were
the-
probably just improvs.
Wait,
Just
okay, wait.
stick through it. Come
Brad,
on, you know
I've-
you got some jokes.
I've asked you for a glass of ice water, and you drop it on the table. And I know you don't just drop it and walk away. What do you say?
Oh, thank you for this.
Sorry,
what do I
in the-
say?
in the
What do you mean,
weeds,
when
I
give-
smoked
if I
Yeah,
give
when
them
you
the
give
water?
me a thing like, there's the waiters that always do the thing where you finish your plate and then they go, oh, I guess you hated that, huh?
Oh, right.
And you're like,
oh,
fuck
when
you.
when people like, when like with this one lady, probably like if they ate the whole thing really fast,
Yeah.
they're like, I hated that. I'm like, I'll take that off the check then.
Yeah, and then
You know,
they're all
something
pissed
really
when it's still on
stupid.
the check. Maybe that's why they're mad.
Come on, there's
No,
got to be
no.
some. You don't have a couple lines. I mean, you've been waiting tables for
Well, that
12
was-
years while being a comedian, and you don't have any things that sometimes you'll go to.
I mean, that was probably my most famous one. I'll take it off.
That
the-
was your most
that was-
famous
that was-
one?
That's so
Oh
funny.
my
That
God,
was
I'm
like
surprised
I
you
mean,
lasted
I don't
12
know.
years.
I hated the job. I was like, yeah, here's your fucking Diet Coke. I don't.
I used to.
here's your diet. Here.
When I was a waitress, I used to tell whenever a woman had a baby and she would like order milk, I would always say, "Do you want skim, whole, or breast?" And tell her
That's
I'd be
good.
her wet nurse.
See, that's
Never got good tips.
That's risky though.
Oh yeah, I
As a
don't.
waiter, I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure the Houlihan Corporation would hate that. I hate that. I hate when waiters though are too jokey and they won't. I hate that so much when they talk too much and
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So are you one of those people that just like
mean,
fucking like make?
If,
God, I would fucking
honestly,
hate you.
if I went in there like really high, I would just fucking just to get pass the time, I would probably like talk to him and, hey,
Son of
But
a
also,
bitch.
as
where are
annoying,
you from?
as annoying as that is for the patron, as a comic, if you're like, it's like having an open mic all day. If your day job is so, what, you're not going to use that opportunity? It's like fresh ears. You just try some shit out.
Are you really trying to ruin all of our food for the future?
I was amazing. I was
No,
the worst.
if
I
it's
brought
not-
the worst food.
I know what
never
she's
brought
saying.
what they
It's
wanted.
not like knock jokes.
No, you're like, try your
testing it,
bits out.
And they don't even if it's
They have no
if it's
clue.
a bit about the day or the week and not the news. If it's an actual thing, they don't ever know it's a bit. But my
Yeah.
guess was that when she said corny jokes, that there were specific things like, oh, I'm gonna have to get a sign. I'll catch up with you later or whatever. You know,
Something like that,
I was
you know.
hoping for like a fucking.
Something like, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. You know, I
Yeah.
would tell them to stay because
And she's like, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm 98.
Well,
I'm
again,
not going anywhere.
I forget. I don't
the
know.
only place
remember what
I'm
it was.
going is to hell.
There you go. Hey, look who's got the.
Woo! Josh, it's getting to the point that when you laugh, it hurts my feelings. I'm just kidding. Oh my
System
God.
shut down.
Are you serious? Once I got a Yelp, I actually worked with Sally, who's right here. We worked at this restaurant together. I once got a Yelp where they said the waitress was so annoying. She kept talking about how hot the skaters at the coffee shop next door were.
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah, they were hot.
Now, normally this is the part where I say, Piper, this young blank and blank, but you are so far looking out of the realm of professional wrestling that I'm truly stumped. Maybe a young, oh, God.
There's not a blonde Jewish one?
I don't know, maybe.
The guy that with the rubber bands all over.
You're laughing at something that nobody
Lou
understands.
Albano. Lou.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sweet Lou.
I love how you
young
crack up
Lou
at
Albano.
Captain Lou.
Yeah, can you grow a beard?
Yeah.
What do we think of, what do you
can
got
grow
for
a beard.
Brad Sachs? Anything pop in your mind? Some advice
What, like
or
as a
something?
wrestler? Oh.
No, I'm talking
Yeah,
to Piper
I don't-
about you.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do any wrestling.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. If that's what you were thinking, you're probably looking at me like this guy could be a wrestler.
I actually wasn't thinking.
Good,
I
yeah.
Figured it was time for you to go.
Thank you. That's nice of you. That's
No,
heard that
I
before.
might have
Thank
just
you.
gone though, like lady water, and you go to walk away. Lemon water, sugar. Well, really, it's a fucking meal.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean she kept making me go?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then it builds.
It builds.
You can tell, hey,
Yeah.
That is true.
good.
Let's make it separate trips.
Yeah. A lot of trips.
a lot of
Finally,
trips. Yeah.
The build-up would be.
Catch your thing on the kitchen as you're going out. It's ripped. You're sweating. Boom. Here you are. You're like, that ain't enough. It's a fucking meal.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love your
I'll
stuff.
come with you next time.
It's also funny that the old lady didn't know what kale was. You're like, yeah, it's right in front of you. What you can't
She
see?
didn't know-
Oh, you have cataracts.
Yeah, I was like, that's the whole salad is kale.
Yeah.
There
Anyway.
you go. Brad Sachs.
Good job.
So is this news? So now you're no longer working at a restaurant?
Nope, I was relieved of my duties. Yeah.
There you go. Brad Sachs,
Thank
a
you,
free
guys.
agent. If anybody here owns a Chili's or an Applebee's, you can get the fucking joke machine over here, Brad Sachs. Hey, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Like what table of people cracks up at that shit? We'll be right here. Oh man, did you hear that? He thought we were gonna go somewhere after he went to get us something. Anyway. That's so crazy. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, but I was going to use the restroom. Oh, it was a joke. Oh. Put your hands together for your next comedian, Jason Van Glass.
My friends won't stop talking about Molly, the hot new party drug Molly. I don't know what kind of friends you guys have. Mine are from Burning Man, so they won't shut up about how great Molly is. Finally, I just Googled it. Turns out Molly is ecstasy, literally the same thing. It's just an ecstasy tablet that's been ground into a powder. That is not a new drug. Not how that works at all. You can be like, this isn't cocaine. This is cocaine I put into a gel cap. It's called Samantha. You've probably never heard of it. What am I going to do, talk for 10 more seconds? We should just stop.
You have 25 seconds left.
To launch into like a 12-minute bit. I'm
He
just
wants to
gonna.
hear the bear. Look at him.
You just want the bear.
You want the bear.
But we could talk about that
You're
joke
going- you're
because
going bear
ecstasy
hunting
and
right now.
ecstasy and Molly is different.
It's not.
MDMA is Molly. Pure Molly is
Yeah.
MDMA.
MDMA is also ecstasy.
No, ecstasy is MDMA plus speed.
Ecstasy is MDMA.
Wikipedia.
Is you're right. It's a cut form of
baby,
MDMA.
Right.
And Molly is pure MDMA. For those of you that weren't at Bonnaroo 2003 with me, which is where I learned that. I was there.
Ecstasy might be cut with other things, but it's not necessarily. Ecstasy is MDMA.
No.
Your anger towards this drug shows me that you need to take this drug.
A lot.
Yeah. Fucking have wind blow on you and just chill the fuck out. Suck a lollipop and shut the fuck up! I'm just kidding.
We'll do it. Let's do it.
So, yeah. Makes it hard when you do 25 seconds and then,
And then
yeah,
beg
what
to
do
be
you want?
released.
What do you want?
I don't have.
What do you,
You want to hear half a
Can
joke
he do
next
it
time?
again?
the same thing?
Yeah. Can you do it
Oh,
again?
it worked so well the first time.
You want to do another 20 seconds?
Yeah.
No.
Just come
We've already
on.
been through
But
I
it-
love
just-
this.
But
Just
you don't
try
have
it
anything
again
else,
with-
premise that you want to talk about?
Or even saying,
No.
try to think, just fucking change the energy. Just walk
I
up
think
and
you should
boom.
switch ecstasy and Molly and go, my friends keep talking about ecstasy.
But people are
just was
talking
going out with
about
Molly.
Molly. What? I don't know. Weren't people talking about Molly earlier this year?
They did know. It's a good craze. But also, everyone, I always think it's interesting that everyone's just taking Molly, like, at bars. Like, when we did ecstasy, we, like, pulled a mattress down and we're, like, putting shaving cream on each other and, like tongue
That's why you have
kissing.
speed in
You
that
were?
ecstasy so you can go out to a bar.
But isn't Molly doesn't have the speed in it?
No, Molly's just
So it's the opposite.
right.
Okay.
Molly's the one you want to be in the mattress.
Have you tried any of these?
I took ecstasy like years ago.
You should try it again.
You should try Molly. You'll see the difference. As how you
You'll
had it. You
feel the
feel the
difference.
difference. How it was back then. Because I really do. You might be right what it's supposed to be, but the ecstasy that you buy, like if somebody goes, "Hey, I got ecstasy for sale on Molly," ecstasy is not just MDMA. It's ecstasy mixed with other shit, usually.
You're so angry too.
Yeah.
Redban obviously is like a purist.
I'm
He
not.
sells Molly. Don't you dress like you sell Molly? Doesn't he look like he sells Molly?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
To like children? To what's his name's son? His 12-year-old lunch
Right.
lady fucking son? But
I've lost a joke
Oh,
here. I'm
man,
learning more
already.
about
Listen.
drugs than I wanted. What was the joke? She took Molly instead of ecstasy?
he said she.
She, he,
Yeah,
her,
hey.
it.
Not even.
No, not you. I'm not. I mean, you could be a
No,
lesbian.
yeah.
That's not.
Sure.
You're not, but you
Just,
could.
just say it again, man. Just do it again.
I love this.
Give it
You
a
have
shot.
to. You can say no to
Oh,
him.
give it a fucking shot, man.
You want to hear the whole joke again?
Yes!
Piper wants it, you got to do it again.
Everyone's, you know, a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence. Just take a beat, boom, boom, and fucking
Do I
bang.
look like I need more confidence?
Yeah.
It's,
Here.
I
you're
agree.
overcompensating.
Okay, tell the fucking joke now.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Was that you cupping his thumb dick? What was that?
Yes, you have a problem with that?
No, I love it. I'm
You
bottomless.
know, you could be right in between there.
What was the punchline? Let's get to the punch.
Yeah.
It's
It
not a
was.
new drug.
Right.
You can't be like this. No, this isn't cocaine. This is cocaine I put into a gel cap. It's called Samantha. You've probably never heard of it. And once again, it crushes.
Maybe that's the
You
maybe
say it was such like a little like.
maybe that's the angle then. Maybe it's more about how people are trying to be hip.
Yeah, everyone's talking about this new drug. It's definitely not a new drug.
Right.
If your ecstasy has other stuff in it, it's because it's impure. It's like saying your cocaine has formaldehyde in it, so you should try this new drug that's just cocaine.
I think that's more of the
That one
actual
person.
thing.
I got one person
Rather than
on
the
my
gel
side.
tab. But you weren't these people are
Maybe it's-
corpses right now. This is podcast usually works a lot better when we're in front of a live audience, and this is a disgrace. These fucking wax museum stand-ins that we have in here tonight are not
I love
cutting
you
the
guys. I
cake,
don't-
but they
don't
like
listen to
being
Tony.
called
You guys
out
are
on
great.
it. So
Maybe have it instead of the cocaine be something that you could have a joke to, like maybe compared to the purple stuff, the purple whatever lean or whatever the shit the kids are drinking that's like cough syrup. Maybe say, yeah, and then there's lean, you know, which is then try to find the joke in there, you know, instead of
Even I
cough
haven't
syrup.
heard of that one. What is it?
It's cough syrup, Robitussin.
Is it different than like purple drink?
No, it's the same shit.
Oh,
but they
great.
call
So
it
it's just
lean.
another thing that we gave a
Exactly.
new name to sound cool.
Right. Yeah. So maybe
Yeah,
there's
but
like
if it's not so on the nose, like if it's not the exact same analogy, is that what you mean?
right. But
Yeah.
that'd be easier to play with maybe. And, you know, instead of purple drink or you know,
Yeah.
or lean, as the kids call it now, it used to be called something else. I don't know. It just seems like that would be more fun to play with the I don't know cough syrup.
I like your style, Jason. Keep rocking, keep
Glad someone
writing.
likes it.
Come back
Confident.
soon. Jason Van Glass.
You can't, unhurtable. I like it. You can't wound him.
Funny guy Jason is. He's on Twitter at Jason Van Glass, guys. So if you're listening to the podcast, you can follow him. Ooh, this is always fun because I like one-name people. Put your hands together for Derek. Derek. One name, Derek.
You know what that means?
Right? You're Derek? Oh.
You racist motherfucker, patron.
And you thought we didn't see him because he's black in the dark room? Josh, you're autistic. You're not a racist.
I'm not. I'm just playing 2 and 2 together.
Josh,
Oh, much love.
much love.
Much love. So, but
My favorite person.
when somebody misses their spot here after signing up for the bucket, it's always fun because that means that they get blacklisted.
Fuck yourself.
Oh, wow, that's a fun take on it.
Damn.
And we're going to do something a little bit different with our new blacklistings where we encourage you not to follow the person but tweet at them that they really fucked up by missing their spot. Because he did fill out his Twitter at Real Derek Gary.
Give it to him.
He seems pretty fake.
Derek Gary with 2 R's. So tweet at Real Derek Gary that he's never going to make it in show business because he just got blacklisted from Kill Tony. Moving along, your next comedian, who I'm sure is here because they want to make it, goes by the name of Eddie Whitehead Jr.
Oh shit! 2 in a row. That means you're
Blacklisted. There you go. Eddie Whitehead Jr. on Twitter at Eddie Whitehead Jr.
This is great.
This is fun.
Slow down
And
some
I am
more.
pretty sure we're blacklisting a list of black people. So I know Eddie. I
Oh,
know
well,
this
we
one.
know this guy.
We know this guy.
Oh,
One of the
wait.
worst producers in podcast
And
history.
human.
One of our buddies of the show, always with us, hustling and bustling around. He's going to do a minute right now, a new minute we haven't heard. Put your hands together for Josh Martin at Josh Martin Comics. We know he's here.
Yeah.
Can we blacklist him anyway?
What?
Josh Martin, everybody.
I don't know, guys. I wasn't prepared. I was running upstairs.
Oh God! Excuses is your opener, really?
Yeah.
1 minute,
Plow
Josh.
forward, Josh.
Fuck it. I think like people want equality. People want equality. They want races to be equal. I don't think they should be equal at all. I don't think we're equal people at all. Like black people can dance, which is great. I wish I could dance. All I can do is like people taxes. And that's like way less useful than dancing. That's like useful once a year. At least with dancing, I can fuck while dancing. I've seen it. People fuck while dancing. I'm like, I want that. I want to fuck while I dance. Yeah, that's it. Fuck it.
You ended up accidentally killing, and I love that. It's the hardest I've laughed in a while.
Dude, that was funny, but maybe you could should have went like you can't. I guess you can fuck like with while doing taxes. You could like go into that whole thing, fucking while doing taxes.
Just have to watch
No
out
one
for
has
the
ever fucked while doing
A
taxes.
lot of Jews.
bullshit. Bullshit. I've never done my taxes, but I'm just assuming.
You just fucked.
No, you get the calculators on your ass, the little imprint.
TurboTax.
Ah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you get turbo fuck taxed.
then I'm clearly doing taxes all wrong.
I mean, what do you have to pay taxes on? I am just... Josh, are you fucking serious? Your comedy store job?
I own a
my
home.
God.
I own a home.
Oh, your parents are rich? That's weird. I didn't know that.
Wow. You just fucking
I just own a
nailed
Pelican
it.
5 I have to
What?
clean.
Yeah, what kind of tax is like sales tax when you buy something from a store?
I don't know. I get my money back.
It paints an amazing picture in people's brains that when you say fucking while dancing, I feel like everybody
Yeah.
may have pictured something a little bit different. Some people more fucking in the bedroom while dancing. Some people on the dance floor just secretly fucking.
Yeah, there's like a difference between dancing while fucking and fucking while dancing.
Exactly.
I think foam
And that
parties-
might be another thing to talk about, another layer on the accidental funny stuff that you put in an accidental funny order earlier. And you know, the ultimate lesson is, man, had I not said plow forward, move it so seriously, I mean, what were you going to do? Just bail out
like
on
you
the
had-
opening spot?
I
I mean, you self-destroy. Your first 3 words out of your mouth were, I don't know. Every audience,
Yeah,
no matter who, no matter how smart or how stupid on any level, is going to go, what do you mean you don't know? You just got, what the fuck, you don't
Yeah.
know. What did you sign up for?
No, the joke I wanted to do, I remember it now.
But
It's
that's
just I
fine.
couldn't
You
remember.
move
I
on.
like-
You don't need to say I don't know and I'm not prepared. Nobody will ever care. That's
I-
the part where it's fun to keep it real, and this is something I've had a lot of trouble with because I've always been more of a me than a performer, and it's something that I know is that you just can't bail out. Something that I learned, is that you just can't bail out. They don't know your weakness until you tell them. They don't know that you forgot anything. They think you're comfortably starting your set. You could have said nothing and looked out there and been comfortable saying, hello, how are you doing, until it hit you that you only do taxes, and that's once a year, which is one beat, and then the fucking, well, taxes, that's another beat, and then you have something. But the ultimate standout lesson is that you do stand up way too much to ever panic. There should never be a panic. There's no panicking, and just like there's no crying in baseball, there's no panicking, especially at the Comedy Store. And you're an employee here and a Kill Tony legend.
Yeah. I think it was funny that your excuse was you were like, I was running up the stairs.
Right,
Like, when
yeah.
does running up the stairs
I was running
erase
up the stairs.
your joke from your memory?
Right.
I also was trying to get air. I couldn't breathe.
Oh, also you have asthma? Now
I'm
you're
just out of
playing
shape.
the sympathy
I'm just
card?
fat. Let's fuck. That's why I don't fuck.
Yeah, can you get us some water?
Oh yeah,
I'm just
can get
kidding.
water.
And you can make jokes about that stuff too. And if you would have kept it one level realer, then you could have just said that instead of saying I don't know. I was just running up the stairs. You could have just said I was running up the stairs.
I don't know was
I
me
don't have
thinking out
asthma,
loud.
but
I
I
was just
look
thinking out
like I
loud.
have asthma. Or you could
But I have
talk over
everything
my
else.
well-written joke for you and never know what it could have been. You'll never know. You'll never know now. There's no way you'll be able to hear that when you re-listen to this podcast, and I'm not going to repeat it, based on principle.
Hey, Tony, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know something really important here I found. It's Eddie Whitehead Jr. He was out back smoking.
Oh, put your hands together for the talent coordinator of the store, former Kill Tony guest, Tommy Morris. Everybody. Fuck yeah, you comedians better clap it up or else you'll never have a chance. Eddie, you missed your spot, man. Very good. All right.
He's addicted.
Heck yeah. Oh my God, this vape cigarette is blowing my mind, Brian. It's like, because smoke just keeps hitting me.
It's
and I
not smoke.
smell these fruity pebble fucking...
It's cotton candy.
Blow it that way. I don't want to smell cotton
You're blowing
candy.
it
It's
that
like you're
way.
blowing
Cotton
cotton
candy.
candy mist in my face. It's so distracting. I'm
He
sorry.
hates that.
I
What?
like that you were giving an
I
autistic
do.
kid health advice and you're smoking a fucking cotton candy cigarette.
The only
You
thing
fat
worse
piece
than
of shit.
eating cotton candy is when you start smoking cotton candy.
You are the least healthy human I've ever met in my fucking life.
It's good shit.
Oh my God.
Autistic
Murph.
Patriot has something to
Want
say.
to say something? I'm glad what started as a negative turned into a positive.
You know,
I mean,
much love.
Yeah.
I really mean that. It wasn't a joke.
it's weird to have the worst Josh standing in front of the best Josh.
Piper, what do you have for this young IRS, Erwin R. Shyster? Love the wrestling fans in the room, by the way, guys. Thanks for laughing at this.
Well, you know, like, with the outfit you got on and the shoes and the I'm sorry, are we bothering you? And the apprehensiveness
Eddie, shut up.
It was enduring. It was enduring. If you had just like kind of stumbled a little bit and they would have got with you playing that beat, that lost a little bit, and then boom, 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 I think would grab an audience in. I think if you came up looking like you do, and you've got the glasses, and if you were huffing and a puffing, then tell them you're huffing and a puffing and get it out. But be yourself, because that was pretty cool.
I wish I didn't. I just thought out loud. I was thinking, oh shit, I don't know what I wanted. I forgot what I was going to say. I just happened to say it out loud.
Well, then tell them that.
Yeah, guys.
Right.
I'm the worst comic as well as the worst producer.
Oh.
No, that's not true, Josh.
That's not true.
If you're going to do self-deprecation, make sure there's a punchline on the end of it. That was Josh Martin, everybody. Right. Hopefully the podcast audio won't pick up the one gunshot we're about to hear from the Belly Room Green Room.
Bye, Josh. R.I.P.
He's on Twitter at Josh Martin Comic. Truly a very, very funny rising stand-up. Fully committed. I'm sure he's going to. It's going to be funny when he's like the he's going to be one of the first comedians with a speech impediment to make
The Louis C.K.?
Because if he was going to quit, he already would have quit. So it's exactly. Louis C.K.
Louis C.K.
Or maybe a. Well, it's funny if there's R's and L's in it, is how you really get his misenunciation of work. So who's a comedian with a lot of R's and L's? Gabe Wheel and Iglesias. There you go. Let's get one more comic up here before we get our regulars going. What do you guys say? Are you still with us, crowd? Eddie, I'm sorry. It's a thing with the show. You can't miss your spot. I love that you got so high that you... Eddie, settle down.
Ooh.
I love...
No. You going against my rights, man. I had to pee.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus, look at this revolt. Thanks a lot, guy with an 80s mustache. Jesus Christ. All right.
He thinks your show's going to give him a shot. You have to let him on.
All 5 legitimate audience members agree that we should give him a shot. So,
oh, my God.
I'm going to relieve you from your blacklist because I love audience members, and I'm pandering for you fucks. So come back another week, and you guys can answer. Here's what I want in return, is that Steve Cotronio, are you here? Steve, how are you, buddy? Hi. You going to be here next Monday? You'll start off next Monday, but in the meanwhile, I want you to, after the show, Steve, go up to each audience member that you see here and say, why did you take my minute from me tonight? And ask for Eddie Whitehead. So, Steve, we're going to kick it off next week with you, okay? Josh, will you remind me of that? He's already gone.
He's killed himself.
Obviously, it was a silent hanging. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute from one of my buddies. This is actually the first guy that I ever met when I started to do stand-up comedy. I signed up for the open mic here. I was here 2 hours early because I was so excited to sign up at 6 p.m. on a Sunday. And Eddie Whitehead Jr., who'd been doing it for years, was here 2 hours early because he was homeless. And we met, and we hung out, and we talked, and he was the first friend that I ever made in stand-up. He really is a good friend. He just got back from Chicago. We have the same birthday, June 8th. Put your hands together for one of my good pals, Eddie Whitehead Jr., everybody.
Hey, here's your gold watch for that speech. That was good.
Oh, there you go. Commitment, props.
I just have one question. I'm getting older. I'm having problems going to the doctor. You look like a hip crowd. You can answer this for me. Is it wrong to fall in love in the middle of a prostate examination? Yeah, I thought so because my dentist gave it to me. And I was saying, shouldn't you be wearing a glove? And didn't have one. I said, you're not putting that thing back in my mouth, really. This guy's looking at me like, why is Samuel Jackson talking about his fucking prostate? I am not Samuel Jackson. I get mistaken for him all the time. Apparently, Samuel Jackson is the only black man in the United States that can walk the streets and ask somebody what's in their wallet and not go to jail. Man, Samuel Jackson to me. I've traveled a lot. I was in Arizona, and I seen a lot of strange things in Arizona because it was so hot. It was not good, and at the end.
There you go, Samuel L. Jackson, Eddie Whitehead.
That's
Jr.
for the podcast people.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it.
You know what else Samuel L. Jackson does is shows up for his gigs on time and is there when he's due to be on set. That's why he's one of the most worked actors in all of show business.
Yeah, and I'm the least worked, so.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but hey, I'm working at it.
You ever fuck with people with the Samuel L. Jackson thing though? Like if you have the right hat on and sunglasses, do you ever play the part and get the pictures if the people ask? And
I
stuff?
went to Egypt like that. So yeah, the first of the year I went to Egypt because I looked like Samuel Jackson. I said, hell yeah, I want to go. Get the fucking car, bitch. They was there. It was like cool.
Did you make a joke on the plane?
Oh yeah. No, I didn't. I was in the no snakes section, man. Come on, I'm flying large now.
That at least make the flight attendants laugh.
Hell
If you said it
yeah,
to them
hell
on the
yeah.
way.
Matter of fact, they looked at me and was suspect. It was on the train, on the plane.
That'd be
That's funny if
really
it's on the
freaky
train.
if you took the train to India.
The coolest thing was I was in Egypt and I was at the museum and this guy came over with his family and he says, Mr. Samuel Jackson, I want to thank you for coming to my country. This is my little daughter, my wife, and my son. We are very proud to have you here. And I looked at him and I says, cool. Take me to your leader. Let's party. And he took me to some big shot and we sat up all night and overlooked the city. It was real cool.
That's cool.
But it's always that fear because I don't look like Samuel Jackson. In another country, I can get away with it.
Yeah, you do sound exactly like him, though.
Yeah, there was a little problem too with the women. You can't be in the same room with the women. So I went to the bathroom and there was like the 16-year-old girl, and she says, "You have now soiled me. I can never be married. I was old. Now I've been in your presence. You have soiled my essence. You must marry me."
Now you go by Eddie Whitehead Jr. now, but Roddy Piper would know you better as Virgil.
Virgil. Hey, me and Piper used to hang out. Yeah, hey, remember the dreadlocks, man? Yeah, we had some part. Hey, man, we got some stories between each other.
Really?
Yeah, you know, I want to compliment you on not growing up to be the dickhead you started to.
Thank
There
you.
was a human headshot. And,
I found an outlet for that.
You did. You're doing good. And I always admired you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you had
I love the
Do you think I'm Brett Butler?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Not Brett Butler. Do you guys remember her Grace Under Fire? You don't?
Yes, Red Brother.
Oh, of course you do, Josh.
Topicals.
Probably still watch it.
I heard she's one of the worst people to work with in all the show business. That's why she can't get a job anymore.
I think she's like an alcoholic and bipolar as well.
Which brings us back to Eddie. I love your style, Eddie. It's always so much fun. Now, you wrote down a Twitter here. Is that a real Twitter? Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm
You have a cell phone?
Hey, I'm high tech, man. You know how I roll. I got it from Boone.
It's your old cell phone, Tony.
That's right. Eddie, I'm so glad you're back. Are you going to be in L.A. for a while?
Yeah, a little while. I'm doing some stuff, and now I got a jet, and I'll be back in about 3 months. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to do some movie. I'm doing that documentary.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
it's on YouTube. It's called Nature Stand Up. It's going to be put together. You're in it from day one.
That's true. You had me in the first month
I
of
had you as
my
hello.
career.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I would love to see that.
It is amazing.
Little baby
The
monster.
craziest thing, like you said, we were born on the same day. And, comics careers really progress to a hate point. You hate your friends after a while. And I'm much older than him, so he was like, yeah, you're over. And,
I did not say that.
You said things like that.
I was
you
busting
can't
your
hang out with
balls,
us.
Eddie. I wasn't really saying that you're over. I mean, you have to have a career before it's over.
It gets to a point where it's, hey, man, I'm subculture, okay?
Where's this audience
I'm
at tonight? I'm just killing it up here for nothing. Anyway, Eddie, I love you so much. We're going to move forward. If you really think he has a Twitter, then follow him at Eddie Whitehead Jr. on
be
Twitter. He'll
great.
check it when he goes to the library. Here's your watch. I love you so much, Eddie. I don't know why they weren't laughing at my bashing jokes, understanding that we're friends. Eddie is crippled, though. He got shot in the legs.
Both of them?
Yeah. He's like a 50 Cent. If 50 Cent ever just got shot in the legs.
Wait, was it 2 separate occasions? No, same time. Okay.
Pretty good shot.
Sorry that happened to you. Well, this got... Good.
That's amazing. Like, how did you only get shot in the legs? It's almost like the gangbanger was a midget or something. All right, that's enough of that story. You're not mic'd right now. We love you, Eddie. That was Eddie Whitehead Jr. We're going to move on to our 2 regulars. We have 2 female comedians who have been being built since the show started. And every week they do a new minute, and it's always fun. Going up first this week, you know, from Dysentery, from Kill Tony. She has a very goofy sense of humor, to where, and yet serious and angry, where she'll take a small thing and turn it into something so much more. The very funny, very goofy Sarah Wine.
A friend invited me over for dinner. I said, fuck yeah, free food. What are we eating? She said, meatloaf. I said, I will not be coming. What the fuck is meatloaf? Why is it even a thing? If you eat enough meatloaf, you will turn into a meatloaf. Like a lazy, meaty, chubby fuck. That's what happens if you eat too much meatloaf. There's no meatloaf in LA. It's just called tofu. Just a brick of tofu is the only meatloaf around here. If you're going to a restaurant specifically for the meatloaf, plan to have food poisoning. My mom made turkey meatloaf. The whole family got sick. It was the color of a terracotta pot. That's all I have on meatloaf.
That's 59 seconds. You could tell she is a Kill Tony veteran. 59.55 seconds. Now, let's talk about meatloaf, shall we?
I have a feeling a lot of people don't hate meatloaf as much as you do, so it's hard to get
I
behind
gotta
you.
sell it more.
I guess. Meatloaf's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really?
Boston Market meatloaf
really
sandwich? You kidding me?
You're the fattest person alive, Red Band.
Just dip
Oh
your
my
fork
God.
into it.
Who eats at fucking Boston Market anymore?
What?
Holy shit.
Boston Market's the bomb.
How are you like able to talk?
I throw up.
I think there's something there, but I'm surprised that in the way that you normally write that there wasn't more of the breakdown of any other meat that you eat. The specific name of the meat is in it, like chicken parmesan or steak or.
Oh, yeah,
but only
duh.
meatloaf is the only thing where it's like, yeah, it's meat. Trust me. You know, it's like there's
Yeah.
like nobody's asking the tough questions like, what's the meat?
Yeah.
Hamburger.
It's true. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Well,
But I mean,
because-
that's why I mean I'm on your shows.
but you know, what was the part where
You could get into something
you
like how
said-
meatloaf's really just ketchup and meat. It's pretty much just a hamburger.
it's pretty much
Yeah.
Big hamburger.
Don't they have breadcrumbs in it too?
Yeah,
it
I mean,
is.
it's pretty
like
much
the-
just a hamburger.
Yeah, it's like an imploded hamburger.
That's why when you say you hate meatloaf, you hate burgers, and that's against America.
It's like home cooking. You were even talking about your mom made it. Do you hate your mom? Maybe that's the joke.
Yeah, you have mom issues, don't you?
You're like, ew.
Are you on your period?
No.
oh
Not
my
yet.
God, Brian, you almost made it the whole episode behaving yourself. I was so proud. Such an odd question, and the fact that you gave an actual answer to that shows that you've been working with Red Band too much.
Dysentery.
No, I'm not on my period.
Yeah.
Next week,
I'm
starting
shocked she
on
didn't
Thursday.
show us not on her period.
Okay. Don't get Red Band to say the words "prove it" right now, or
Prove
else. All right, Sarah, meatloaf. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I would revisit it and look at it from different perspectives. You know,
Okay.
ask yourself the tough questions like, what else do we just put one condiment on and it makes it a thing? You know, breadcrumbs. What the fuck? That sounds like a wine shank bit if I've ever heard it before. Breadcrumbs being its own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem
Like for example, how did breadcrumbs actually like take off? You know, like that's one messy chef who found out the most awesome accident ever is just, hey, maybe I could sweep all this crap up and put it in meatloaf. Like
That's funny.
the fact that crumbs, which is normally put into a trash can, is a widely accepted variety of food.
Or brushed off you is actually a food for sale.
It
Right.
could be like
The
a Jew joke,
the
too.
dandruff of condiments,
Yeah.
breadcrumbs.
Bread dandruff.
Bread, or like the leftover bread in the basket at someone's table that they don't eat and they don't know what to do with. Maybe they just make it in breadcrumbs.
Now, Piper, this young sensational Sherry that we have here, what's the Piper input on Sarah Wineshank?
I love her attitude. You came up, your attitude was great. I wasn't fond of the profanity because your attitude
I got
was
nervous.
so. Yeah, your attitude was so strong.
I thought you were going to say loaf. You said fuck.
I know, me too.
Yeah, but you know, it's kind of like if you eat the meat, you loaf. You know, it's kind of like you were strong. You're a little girl. You're small, petite, and you're beautiful, and you're strong, and you have an opinion. And when you use profanity, it takes away. It takes away from your purity.
You're too good of a writer for that.
Yeah.
Now, Annie here has to use profanity all the time because...
Pussy juice is my punchline for everything.
we want to thank Sarah, by the way.
Yes, definitely. Sarah, thank you so much. That's the great Sarah Wineshank. She's on Twitter at Princess Shank.
I could really go for some meatloaf right now.
I bet you could.
Drink that water,
The
Josh.
final comedian of the night dropped out of college at the University of Florida with just a couple semesters left. Put your hands together for Kimberly Congdon. Always funny, keeps it real, talks about her life.
Hey guys, I'm having a lot of trouble tricking guys into being my boyfriend. I don't understand what's going on. Because I feel like I'm smart, I'm funny, charismatic, humble. Like, and I can cook too. The other day I made a meal and it tasted exactly like somebody should be paying my rent. I was like, what the fuck is going on? When it comes to marriage and sex, I'm saving myself from marriage and focusing mainly on sex right now. That's important at 23. I'm staying away from kids. I'm doing the good old push-out, pull-out method. I call it that because you don't only pull out. It takes both partners because you got to push too. Make sure you get your part of the job done right. I'm done.
I love it. You got it. That's it. Another 58 seconds for Kimberly Congdon. The internal clock. Once again, nailed it. Very fun stuff. That's a whole new batch of a fun minute that I think can be stretched out and developed on. Annie?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Do you normally bring your purse on stage?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was like
was
take
weird.
care of me like thing.
Prop comic.
Which don't ever do that if you can. I think it was really good. I think that a lot of female comics tend to do just misdirects, and you should try to not have everything be like oh, psych, I said this thing instead. I think those were all really good and really strong. I liked the, what was the one before the push out? Focusing on the sex. That was funny.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Piper, your input on this modern day AJ Lee?
I think she's terrific. I think you're terrific.
Thank you.
You know, you've got it all going. If you had more than a minute, there's no doubt in my mind that you would have had them wrapped around your finger.
Yep.
You're beautiful. You're intelligent. You dress part. Yeah, I thought you were great.
Killed it. Kimberly Congdon. She's on Twitter at Kimberly Congdon, and we are out of time. Piper, anything coming up you want to promote? The bubblegum soda?
Anything I want to promote? I
Yeah.
have yes, there's a Roddy Piper bubblegum soda pop now.
And your
Get it in
podcast
100
is
stores. There's a podcast. There's
Piper Pod?
Yeah, I'm doing. What else am I doing?
I was on
just
one
did
of
it.
those.
Yeah.
find that
our
episode.
Podcast one. Legends
House.
I just did a
best
series.
show.
Legend House.
Highly recommend
about to do
anybody and
another series
everybody.
Here.
Get the WWE Network. It's only $10 a month, and watch all the episodes of Legends House. I've told everybody to watch it. It's my favorite
cool.
show ever.
And I'm going to the UK to do a tour there for about 10 10
So
12
cool.
shots, man.
Annie Lederman.
Yeah.
You're Annie Lederman on Twitter. Piper's R_Roddy Piper.
R_Roddy_Piper.
Gotcha.
Cool. And I'm Annie Lederman. It's like David Letterman, but no T's, one D. You can remember. Tranny Annie.
Lederman. At Autistic Thunder is Josh Meyerowitz on Twitter. At Autistic Thunder, no underscore there, right? One word. Autistic Thunder. Red Band.
Me and Sam Tripoli are going to Florida in August 8th, 9th, and 10th. Go to DeathSquad.tv.
Yep. Go buy a shirt at TonyHinchcliffe.com.
Tony Hinchcliffe, what rocks? You know, this kid here, when I first came here, he hadn't eaten for 2 days. It's true. And I took him
A real
to an
meal,
expensive
yeah.
place, Denny's, and no, filled him up and talked to him, and you've come so far.
Thank
I'm
you,
really
buddy.
proud of you.
You're the best. So
I
much
love
great
you too.
advice and great
Everybody,
stuff. One of
I'm
my
honored
heroes
to-
and my
with
best
you,
friends,
honored
Roddy
to
Roddy
be-
Piper, the great Annie Lederman.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Josh Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you, live audience. It's been so much fun. See you again soon. Kill Tony.
Thank you.